Cassandra, it's you!
Phoebe!
You promised we'd see each other again, and now we have.
I also said, stay out of trouble.
Which I have. Okay, almost out of trouble.
How did you even get here, Phoebe?
Well, I did make some drachmi working for Marcos.
So you paid someone to bring you to Athens?
Not exactly.
Phoebe...
I needed a drachmi for when I arrived. I couldn't use it all to leave, and I didn't want to wait any longer. So I sneaked on a ship. Don't worry, nobody saw.
I just can't believe you made it.
I don't remember much of Athens from when I was a baby. But every once in a while, something feels familiar. It's nice.
I can't believe you're here.
Me either. I can't believe we both made it to Athens. It's so much different from Kefalonia.
But what are you doing here?
I'm here to get you ready. I have to make sure you leave all your weapons and change into these clothes.
So you somehow work here? For Pericles?
No, for Aspasia.
I don't understand why I have to change.
It's just what you do here. I felt weird at first, but you forget about it pretty fast.
And my weapons?
Don't worry, I'll take care of them. You don't want to scare people in there.
Well... How is it you're working for Aspasia?
Well, I did get into a little bit of trouble after I got to Athens. I may have been a leader of a small group of orphans that tried to cheat Aspasia. We didn't know it was her, though.
And you convinced her to hire you?
No, she asked me on her own.
That was lucky. I think I'm ready to go in.
You can't. Not like that, anyway. The Athenians like it best when you try to fit in. But don't worry, I have just the outfit for you.
I'll get changed. Promise you'll take care of my things?
Yep. Leave your weapons in the corner, and I'll come back when you're done.
I feel uncomfortable in this.
Now you look like everyone else.
You say that like it's a good thing.
It is. If you want them to take you seriously, this is the easiest way. Trust me.
Is that everything?
You're all ready to go in. Don't worry. You've done scarier things than this.
I'm struggling to think of any. Sure, I can't keep just one weapon with me.
No weapons. Now hurry and go in. Oh, and don't leave without saying bye.
Here, Cassandra. The mighty mercenary and traveler has finally made her grand entrance. Only slightly late, too.
Herodotos! Athenians have no problem letting me know when I'm not welcome. It's a relief to see your friendly face.
Don't let the company here tonight intimidate you.
I won't.
Pericles is no king. He needs these guests to love him so that the people love him. And they, in turn, need Pericles. You're no different from any of them.
Do you really think these people will help me?
They will if you get them to trust you. And you've wisely dressed for the occasion. Appearing trustworthy is the most important part of being trusted, after all. Now then, come, let me introduce you to everyone. They may not look it, but this group holds the way to the future on the tip of their opinionated tongues. Ah, Sophocles and Euripides, for example. Two of the most celebrated playwrights to date. No one can throw stones as far as they can. They appear to be locked in some struggle, as is their way.
He's a writer of comedies, of all things. Comedies, Euripides.
I've heard of Sophocles. In my line of work, it pays to know who the richest and most famous men are.
Hermippos has also written his fair share of comedies. You should drink more. Lately, his attitudes have garnered him more notice than his works. However, The fellow beside him, Protagoras, is a sophist worthy of as much praise as the great Socrates himself.
Inviting Socrates seems like a good way to ruin everyone's night. I'm surprised they would let him in the door.
Oh, don't let Socrates get under your skin. At least he wore shoes for the occasion. And the poor thing gesticulating like an ape is Thrasymachos. If you listen closely, you'll notice he and Socrates are actually arguing the same points. But the wind from his wild gestures deafens him to critique.
That isn't at all what I mean.
Where is Pericles?
Oh, he never attends his own parties. Which reminds me, there's something I need to get his help with.
Vile Socrates, always appearing where I least appear. Protect me from his amorous gaze. Oh, Alcibiades, this is not a time for jealousy, but for love.
Let's not use Alcibiades as an example. Be good and don't drink too much. So, tell me, what does a Mystios like you think of a party like this?
This party could be fun. Alcibiades drinks like a Spartan. Maybe he fights like one too.
If I could suggest anything, please don't start a fight or end one.
Thank you, Herodotus.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Pericles is here somewhere and I need to prepare him. If he's alone, I'll tell him what your brother said.
You're leaving me alone with these people?
You'll do fine without me, I promise. Just relax, talk to the others, and focus on finding your mother.
Όταν είπε δύο, έκλεψε και άθλημα. Να ο πατήρ φοβήσει αυτό, μετήφερε στο και είπε...
Of course, I only use the terms war or God or civility in the context of what can be observed. So I can observe soldiers fighting, but does that bring me any closer to understanding war?
I haven't seen you around before, citizen. Perhaps you'd like to spare me conversing with this man of nonsense?
Sure, we can talk. What about?
Before Protagoras changed the subject, we were talking about the next great leader of Athens, Cleon.
I saw Cleon speaking at the Pnyx. He's a real man of the people.
So, you have a taste for politics. That's certainly better than most of the elitist blowhards in this house.
I take it you and Pericles aren't friends.
Hardly. Ethnippos led the Tsars to have Aspasia ostracized and to see Pericles stripped of power. Not that it worked.
Yet, Pericles is the past. He's more worried about losing a few precious statues than he is fighting and winning the war. Cleon will rule this city and return it to greatness. Mark my words.
If you're an ally of Cleon, why would Pericles invite...
Outsider. Here, we keep our enemies closest of all.
Why isn't Aspasia here?
Can you be certain she isn't? To observe her presence is still no guarantee that she is here.
In my opinion, it's just like her to cower in the shadows while we stand out here in the light.
I'm looking for clues to help me find a woman. She was Spartan.
Looking and finding are quite different things, wouldn't you say? I could observe a priest offering sacrifice to the gods, but does that mean, in so doing, that I have myself found God? Or
Oh, forget it. This has been useless. Here.
A new face in Pericles' abode! Ha! That in itself is a remarkable thing. You must have seen me doing my impression of Cleon. I call it the Orange Ape. Tell me, what does it think?
I am called It isn't one of them.
What do you call yourself then? Creature of many names?
Cassandra.
I wouldn't peg you as a Cassandra, but never mind. I'm Aristophanes, and this man is Euripides. Oh, go on. Introduce yourself.
I'm Euripides.
For a playwright, you're not much for words.
Good men lead quiet lives, as old Euripides likes to say. Don't you, Euripides? Now, if you'll excuse us, I was just about to dazzle this old dog with my impression of Pericles. I call it the wooden board.
The man is your host.
Under every stone hides a politician, I always say. And Pericles is no different.
Το τέκνο μου παραλατομείο να πήγαγαν και ανηλαιώς ελιθοβόλησες. Αυτό και
Κακίνος ο Περικλής έπαιζε με φαινός κοινός.
Thank you for your help, my friend.
Έστιμος που κερδίζει ώρα άπαντας και έφτιαξε πέρι στην ουρά της.
Someone's being hurt. Open this door or I'll kick it in!
Don't mind her. She likes to watch. Look at you. Such authority. Such aggression. I can see why Pericles has taken such an interest in you. Did you come to join us?
It sounded like someone was in pain.
Well, it can sometimes be hard to distinguish between sounds of pleasure and pain. Had I known you were going to knock, I would have left my door wide open for you.
I thought this party was tame even by Athenian standards. Until now.
Let them have their meeting of the minds. I'm more interested in meeting other parts.
Ali, we're out of oil again.
Ali?
You know they like you when they give you a pet name. There's more olive oil in the kitchen, but Aspasia keeps complaining about me walking unencumbered symposiums.
You mean naked?
It sounds so good when you say it.
After your display earlier, it's probably safer I get the oil.
Obedient, too. I knew I liked you. Don't take too long. If you don't get the oil soon, all our fun will end. Just can't stay away, can you? Did you bring the oil?
Grown up in Pericles' home, and yet you're so different.
No one is like Pericles. And he's only slightly more serious than usual, too. Athens is under siege, and he worries for her future. Which is why tonight is a fine time to celebrate what may be our last taste of freedom.
When you walked in, you seemed like you and Socrates were...
How I wish you were right. One day we will have that man in here with us. I promise you that.
I might be back.
If you come back with a jar of oil, I promise to show you how grateful I am. Just can't stay away, can you? Did you bring the oil?
I come bearing gifts.
We're saved! Today, these women grieved for their sons, and these men worked the wall. But tonight, we forget all of that. Let's have some fun! What do you say? Care to join us?
Now, it's time for you to help me, Ali. I'm looking for someone.
All business right until the end. I like that.
Focus. I'm looking for a woman who fled Sparta a long, long time ago.
Fled Sparta? No one flees Sparta. But let's pretend she did. If she were stupid, she'd be dead. If she were smart, she'd do what Aspasia did. She'd earn her independence. The smartest and most resourceful women I've ever met have been in Corinthia.
Prostitutes? This is serious.
They don't like being called that, and for good reason. They offer so much more than their bodies.
Such as...
These women are companions, counselors, confidants. Powerful men come to the Etera asking for advice and value their words more than those of their closest friends and advisors. Ali! Come back inside! Ooh, the celebration continues. When you reach Corinth, find Anthusa. No one goes in or out of the city without her knowing. Until we meet again, warrior.
Anthusa in Corinth. It's not much, but it's a start.
I suppose you've come in here to mock me for my fight with Euripides.
I've seen lots of fights. That wasn't one.
I really made a fool of myself this time, didn't I? I'm Sophocles, though I'm sure you knew that. And you are?
I am looking for information that'll help me find someone. A Spartan woman.
A Spartan woman in Athens. Sounds intriguing. Though, if you expect me to notice someone other than myself, you expect too much. You could talk to Euripides. He's the second most worldly man here. That pediculous Xanthodontus exophthalmic Morosov. But he doesn't talk without a drink.
I have no idea what that meant.
No, you don't.
So we get him drunk and he talks. He sounds more Argive than Athenian.
Impressive, foreigner. Euripides is from Argos.
All right. If nothing else, this party could use the help.
You'll need to pick the right wine for this task. The kitchen should have what you need. Let me know when Euripides is done in, and I'll slip away unseen.
How do you know Pericles?
I believe you mean to ask me, how does Pericles know you? I am the greatest dramatist in the land, mentor to Euripides, lover of Asclepios, father of theater, and so on, and so on.
I'm sure it's a real honor to have you hiding in his kitchen. You're awfully worked up over Euripides. You sure you're just friends?
Foreigner. Though I confess, Euripides and I hold a bond deeper than brotherhood. Why he slams it with that banal young plaything, Aristophanes, I will never know.
I'll get the wine.
Wonderful. Now, if you want some friendly advice, Aristophanes cannot stand sweet wine. I've seen what it can do to him. Absolutely, horrifyingly delightful.
It wouldn't be a party without someone losing their stomach. I'll let you know if your plan worked.
Save for that arrogant playwright. I don't see many distinguished guests in here. Can I help you with something?
I've come to get your finest dry wine.
Yes, take it. But get out of my kitchen. I'm very busy, you know.
It's come back for more. Care to see my impression of Protagoras? I call it the flapping bladder.
I'm sure she wouldn't.
When I need to relax, I start a fight. For you, though.
Quickly, bring him some wine so that he might say something clever.
After my argument with Sophocles, I think I'd rather keep my head clear.
I'm only here because I'm searching for someone.
And yet it gave us the distinct impression it was here to fill our wine. Let's focus on that first, shall we?
You and Aristophanes could both use a drink. Let's play a game.
A competition?
Ah, wonderful idea. Everybody seems quiet, but he never turns down a challenge.
Well, if you brought us some wine, I wouldn't be opposed to showing this young one how we Argives drink.
Why don't you just apologize?
It's he who should apologize to you.
Sophocles is a friend, and one good friend is worth an entire family. He just needs time to recover from his outburst.
Pericles has invited all of you here for some reason.
Either we dine here and praise Pericles, or we dine with Cleon. But Cleon has all the charm of a typical politician. A horrible voice, bad breeding, and vulgar manners.
To Dionysos.
This is delicious.
This is nectar of the gods. Another round.
How about some more?
Where did you find this delicious wine? It must be Pericles' finest.
You know what they say, good wine makes good friends.
Ready for another?
This is the best symposium I've been to in a while.
You know what? I like you. Who brought you here?
I brought myself. I'm on the trail of a woman who fled Sparta a long time ago.
Fled? Why?
She lost 2 children. She had
Art. Euripides, write her into a play.
I've heard Spartan mothers go to a sanctuary in Argolis to beg Asclepios for his divine pity. I should know, it's my home.
After what she went through, I'm not sure she'd trust priests.
Oh, then she sought my friend, Hippocrates. He's a physician, best of the best. He still keeps his office in Argos. If she went to him for help, there's no doubt he'd have given it.
I love getting drunk and singing. Come back if you want to sing with me.
I'll think about it. Hippocrates in Argos. Here I come.
How's Euripides? Drunk, I hope.
You can stop hiding in here. Euripides won't notice you coming out. He won't notice anything.
Hiding? Heed this. War has come to Athens. First they take our homes, then they take our heads. I intend to be found with at least my dignity intact. Or what's left of it anyway. If you see Pericles, tell him I said thank you for another colorful evening.
τελειώσουν και οι φρεγάτες σου.